Ladies and gentlemen, it's ladies' night in the place to be. It's your girl, Fran, Conversations with Fran. I hope you are ready for the ride because you are definitely getting ready to get some good stuff tonight. I am so excited to have some of the most amazing men joining me tonight on tonight's show. I want to say hello to the village. So y'all go ahead and get in here. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. So that way we can definitely keep these numbers moving just right on the We Are LA channel. And I just want to say, last week, I was able to see some of the numbers from the show, and I have to say I was extremely happy with what I saw. So shout out to the village for standing by you, girl, and rocking with me. And so I'm gonna check on Facebook real quick. And you all let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Talk good to me, because if you can't hear me, I'm going to throw something at my producer. How about it? Huh? Y'all remember that game that they used to have at the carnivals and stuff like that, where you could throw something and dunk them in the water? What was it called? The dunk or something? Well, whatever. That's what's about to happen again. All right. Everybody let me know you can hear me nice and clear, and we can go ahead and move right along with this thing. So listen. I have two of the most amazing men joining me, like I already told you. I have KB Strawder Jr. all the way from Houston, Texas, as well as Pastor Elton Johnson from right here in Los Angeles, California, the pastor of Metropolitan Baptist Church. And so today's topics, we're talking about all things relationship. We're talking about all things. We're looking at the precipitating factors of an entanglement as well as the aftermath of an entanglement. Can a relationship really survive after something like that happens? So that's what we're going to get into. I hope you got your questions ready. Go ahead and jump in the comment section if you have any of those questions, and we're going to get right to it. And this week, I'm going to make sure that my producer's mic is not on. How about it? So here we go. Make sure you have liked, subscribed, and shared this video. And I want to make sure you have the phone number now. It's 424-390-6993. One more time for you, 424-390-6993. Let's get into it. We're going to start this thing off. I don't have it in my script, but there is absolutely no way I can begin this show without giving a shout out to my day one, Rugenia Vincent. Today is her 40th birthday. I promise you, she has been 10 toes down since the front pews of Holy Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. That's just how we roll. So I wanted to open my show by saying happy birthday to you. I'm so proud of the woman that you have become and that you are still becoming. And I'm proud of how you have raised your daughters with all type of circumstances against you. Your oldest daughter is a college a historically Black college university graduate. And she's also a Sigma Rho. This girl is doing amazing things. So happy birthday, Ruth. Okay, producer, let's roll. Can I get a hand clap from a girl, please? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. Get the word out there to your folks so that we can get into this thing right. And remember that the phone number is 424-390-6993. Go ahead and call in with those questions, and we're going to get to it. All right, let's jump to the Black Girl Magic shout out. Let's get that up for me. The Black Girl Magic shout out goes to Emery and Smith. That's my little baby cousin. There is absolutely no way possible I was going to let the month of August get out of here without giving a big shout out to the prettiest baby girl in our family. She is the newest addition. She is the daughter of Loretta and Xavier, Dr. Loretta and Xavier Smith. I'm so proud. Yeah, you saw the smile just pop out every time I think about it. I just get so excited about the fact that that they have such a beautiful family and they've started something so amazing. So shout out to Emery. You got those pictures up of my baby girl? Oh, there she is. Look at her, all quarantine clean. Yes, yes. Come on, look at the little African princess. That's what I'm talking about. That's my sweetheart. So shout out and hand claps for my baby girl, Miss Emery. Hi, there we go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And next,
we're going to get to that Instagram post of the day. And while we're getting to the Instagram post of the day, I want KB and Pastor Elton to ready themselves, because I promise you, we're jumping into this thing. I didn't want to waste any time. I want us to have as much time as possible for this. So, I want to give a shout out to Miss Shanika Johnson. I missed you last week, Ladybug, but I know you checked it out. Samantha Ambola, listen, you are always number one checking in. And she says she has Bible study at 7 p.m. So, say a prayer for us, because, well, we talking about entanglements. So we might need. All right, they got me a chair, and I don't know how I feel about it right now. But anyway, we're gonna get to the Instagram post of the day. The Instagram post of the day is Louita C. What you saying to me? Louita C. AKA LC Sayings on Instagram. Let's take a look at this post and see what's happening. That's cool, but I can't see it. So that's part of the problem. There we go, bruh. If she's 35 to 50, you have about 3 to 5 business days to say the right things before she stops responding. All right, I'm gonna read that again for those that are driving and listening. Bruh, if she's 35 to 50, you have about 3 to 5 business days to say the right things before she stops responding. Let's just be clear. And you got 30 days before we return you to sender. Okay. All right. So get your lives together. Why am I talking about this? Well, like I said, today's topic is about relationships. So shout out to LC for such an awesome post. And here we go. Let's get into it. Remember, the call-in number is 424-390-6993. 424-390-6993. All right, let's get to it. I want to introduce to you a gentleman that I had the opportunity to meet. What happened? Okay, so I had the opportunity to meet a gentleman by the name of KB Strawder Jr. And when I met him, it was I was doing a stage production called The House of Reds, and he was on the front row, and at the time I didn't even I didn't know who he was. But then after the show, he was introduced to me, and it was like we immediately kind of clicked. And I've been following him on Instagram. We keep up with each other and stuff. And one of the amazing things about him, he's a motivational speaker. He has his own company. He has a foundation, Live Better Foundation. And not only that, he also has an apparel line. And here recently for the class of 2020, this was absolutely awesome. He was the keynote speaker for Penn State University's graduation. And so it absolutely blew my mind to see him come up on the screen and seeing all of the graduates and all of the congratulatory messages and the things and such. And he really presented himself well. He has always been a man of his word. He is so humble, but yet so equipped, so educated, and he has no problem sharing about who he is. And then I want to tell you a little bit about Pastor Elton while I'm waiting on a cue. Pastor Elton is the pastor of Metropolitan Baptist Church, and he also is the husband to of Lady Charlay Johnson, who was one of my guests she was my guest last week in talking about pandemic parenting and how we're approaching the idea of going back to school virtually. And so when I talked to them about what I was going to be talking about this week, she mentioned that, well, you know what? He began a series on entanglements for the month of August. And each week is just getting better and better and better. And so I said, well, you know what? I think it would be really good if I had them to chime in and give a little bit of details on some of the topics that we're talking about. So let's jump into it. When it comes to relationships, one of the things that has always been kind of a stickler is, sometimes men feel as though women are expecting them to do everything. They're expecting them to handle all of the bills. All of a sudden, you come in like the knight in shining armor, and some of this is because they look at the They look at all of the stories of Cinderella. They look at the Snow White stuff. So they grow up with these ideas. Thank you. They come up with all of these ideas of what love is supposed to be. And then, like one of my favorite songs by Anita Baker, Fairy Tales, where she basically breaks down that not a fairy tale. It doesn't always end that way. Everybody's ending is not always happy. So, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Brother KB Strawder Jr. as well as Pastor Elton Johnson. Give him some love over there, just a little bit. Thank you so much. I want to make sure that we got our sound working. KB, can you hear me all right?
I hear you loud and clear.
That sounds good. Woo, that's that Houston. Yes. Okay, Pastor EJ, can you hear me all right?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
All right, sounds good. Well, listen, gentlemen, I just got done introducing you to the village. The village is definitely ready. The comments are already moving right along. So let's just get to this thing real fast. So now, first of all, how are you all doing? How was it in Houston? Because it's like 98 degrees here in California, KB. What's going on?
It's about a 102. We got you beat. It's about a solid 102, not including the humidity and the heat wave that we've been on for the last few days. So it's about a hot and spicy like everybody else in pretty much the rest of the world. So I'm
I
right there
can't
with
stand
you.
it. I can't stand it.
You made me laugh. You said it's too hot to breathe the other day.
Listen, and one of my friends called me and he said, "Now, Fran, I know your topic is about relationships, but were you trying to sound seductive?" I said, "No, I was trying to not sound hot and trying not to sound like I was dying. I was trying to remain calm, but it was a little rough. It was a little rough, man. So how's it going in Fontana, Pastor EJ? What's the temp out there, man?"
It's like 720, but it's cooling off a little bit. It's hot, but
turn them up in my headphones for me, Anthony. Oh my goodness, that's a bit much. 720. I wasn't ready for that one. Well, I guess it's about to get a little bit hot, and I guess we're in good company. So I'm gonna pose this question to KB first. Is chivalry dead?
No, chivalry is not dead, but it is dying because men are treating it like a disease.
Ooh.
So I honestly believe that we need to get back to what chivalry really is, because we've long lost sight of what it is. It's lost generations ago, but it's not dead, but it can be resurrected.
Okay, yes, sir. Pastor EJ, what's your thoughts on it?
I agree with everything brother just said. I definitely agree. Times have changed. The game has changed.
Yeah.
Things are just different. Men are moving different. Women are operating different. So the game has changed. We got to adjust to it.
Absolutely. So now, I kind of want to ask some questions that will kind of help lead the ladies, and then I'm also going to pay attention to some of the questions that are happening in the comments section. And producer, don't let me miss anything on Facebook. Now, tell me this, Pastor EJ, tell me about your first date with Lady Charlotte.
Well, first of all, let's say this. It took me like a whole year just to get her phone number. She was playing very hard to get. I knew she was feeling me. I knew she liked me. But it took me a whole year. And what I told her was, since I was a pastor in the city, everybody knows who I am. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew who she was. I said, let's just go out the city, have dinner, have lunch, just kick back and talk, and that's it. But
so
our first date ended up,
you were already pastoring before you all started dating.
Yeah, I was going into my second year of pastoring.
Okay.
And, our first date actually was a Prince concert. So I somehow tried to stay away from the crowd and ended up around 20,000 people.
Yeah, buddy.
But hey, once I sung Adore, it was a wrap. It was all over.
Okay, I have a sidebar question, EJ. Did he do musicology? Did he perform that one?
Oh, the boy did everything. And Holly Berry was there that night. Lord have mercy. Oh,
so wait, so the way
you got that number that night.
I was winning all night.
Okay, all right. Awesome. Okay, so tell me this. Is it ever, KB, you can answer this one. Is it ever okay for the woman to make the first move?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Sometimes men, and I don't speak to all the brothers, but I'm gonna speak for the brothers. Some men don't necessarily pay attention too much. So
Okay.
it's okay to get the attention, but it's not your responsibility to keep it.
Okay.
Meaning we may not know you feeling us. We may not know you really exist. We might be in our own world train of thought, but then just a little, how you doing? Speaking, a little courtesy smile, a little flash, something like that. But then let that be the extent of it.
Right.
You could be like, oh my goodness, I'm tripping. Then, then from there you let the chivalry is the courting start if that brother is interested. But there's nothing wrong with getting attention. You just don't have to maintain it too long.
Okay. Now, answer this for me, because sometimes women confuse charm with flirting, and a lot of that tends to have to do with some of their experience, um, negative or positive. But sometimes they can misinterpret things. So tell me, where is the fine line between charm and flirtation?
Charm is deceitful. All right, Pastor. All right, charm can be deceitful, but it's the fine line is the actions that take place. It's okay to be charming because that's naturally a part of your personality. Like my mother used to tell people all the time, like, he'll charm you, but that's just naturally my engaging personality sometimes. It's the actions after the charm has ensued that turns it from just being charmful to now we in dead pursuit flirting. Your conversation changes, your personality changes, your talk, your ways, the way you look now, you hold that gaze just a little bit too long or
just a little bit.
That. It's definitely a fine line, but it is defined.
Yes. Okay. All right. I'm here for it. Tell me something, Pastor. What is the most thoughtful gesture that Charlotte has ever done for you?
Well, we've been married. Next week will be 8 years. So she's done a lot. She's done a whole lot. But there's one particular moment before we was married, and it may be small to everyone else, but it was big to me.
Yeah.
It was my birthday, August 1st. And we were
Happy
just talking.
You just celebrated. That's right.
Yeah,
we were
Leo's in here. July 29th. Yes, sir, Pastor.
Right.
Lord. In here.
Roaring. Help us all. The lions are out. Here we go. No, but okay. So, hey, audience, you guys get to appreciate Pastor EJ. Throw him some happy birthdays in the comment section. Although we did celebrate him at the top of the month, but still, we get to do it again because I've been told Leos celebrate the whole month and some.
Yeah, we going all the way to
the whole year. We want to.
We're gonna take it all the way through.
Yeah, I'll tell you you can tell me happy birthday at the end of the year. It'd be happy New Year and happy belated.
I did not think this all the way through. I don't know what I got myself into. The lion.
It's double trouble tonight.
Here we go.
But what happened, friend? Let me tell you what your girl did.
Man.
Now, when we was dating, we did a lot of talking. We go out on dates and we would talk and ask just hundreds of questions. But somehow she missed to ask the question, could I swim? And so I'm not a swimmer, right? I'm not going to drown, but I'm not a swimmer.
Hey,
she tried to surprise me on my birthday.
Yeah.
And she took me to a water park. So she told me to come to the house. And I went to her house and I brought my son, Trenton. He was just a young teenager at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This would really help me to see this girl's all right with me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I get there, she had brought me some shorts, some water shoes, my son. The fact that she just included my son in the whole event.
Oh man, I really thought she brought me a floating device.
That was right there, like she
just the thoughtfulness. She thought outside.
She's done a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So involved my son to let me know that you're not just want to take me out, but my son is part of my package.
Right.
And because she didn't have no kids, and women that I would try to talk to, they're like, oh, no, bro, I got kids. I'm good. I don't want no baby mama drama. She looked beyond all of the faults.
Come on,
gave me a shot. Gave me a shot with a son. Gave me a shot. But the way she took my son in, that means a lot to me.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So tell me something, KB. Same question for you. What's the most thoughtful thing a woman has ever done for you?
Well, let's see. I'm very simplistic to me personally. So, just in having the ability to care about what I care about and to be invested in it, especially as an entrepreneur, for myself, the most thoughtful thing that ever happened is just being invested in what I'm passionate about. Number one, understanding what my purpose is, not having to help me live it, but just even encouraging me through it. And it could be through anything. It could be just, through a word of prayer. It could just be thoughtfulness in cards. It could be, investing it in whatever helps me be more productive in the business side. So that's pretty much the most thoughtful thing to me. Not necessarily the gifts, but just the fact that you even thought beyond yourself to see what I would want. I thought that was that still is to this day the most thoughtful thing ever to me.
Okay, so now let me dig in a little bit. What is a first date like with you, KB?
Like Pastor, a lot of talking, a lot of listening.
Yeah.
First dates determine whether or not I'm gonna waste my time for a second. It's simple as that. I don't need 3 dates. I don't need first dates. In conversation. Don't ask me about to say, what's your favorite color and all that. No, we're getting beyond, the natural. We're getting beyond this stuff. Let's get past this. What is your passion? What is your purpose? How do you feel about X, Y, and Z? While we here sharing this meal, because I'm pretty sure we're probably gonna eat. Let's put it like that. We're probably gonna do something to eat. You got to eat. I need to see how you eat in public. I need to see if you're gonna have spaghetti all over your face, or you're gonna be, dabbing at the corners and being, whether I take you to Golden Corral and we at the buffet, or whether we at a 5-star somewhere, I need to see how you eat.
Right.
But just in conversation, and it has to be intriguing enough to be like, what, this person seems worthy, and thank God for my spirit of discernment. It don't take me much to have to read through you. I can look at a picture and tell you what's going on with you. You can walk me and I'll be like, nah,
that ain't it.
It don't take long.
I don't like the way you pronounce that word. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. It can be things like this. My discernment is just so heavy. So first date is just conversation, and that determines whether or not the second is even worth it. Because number one pet peeve of mine is wasting my time.
Yes, that part right there. So now on one of your posts, KB, I'm coming back to you, EJ. I got a question right here. On one of your many Instagram posts, you made the statement, "Ladies, be a blessing, not a bill." I'm gonna say that again. I'm gonna say that again for people. Ladies, be a blessing, not a bill. Can you elaborate on that, KB?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so I said this actually in 2016. It was a post I was kind of revamped. I noticed a trend in women lately, and not that it hadn't happened since the beginning of time, but just it's been more heavier now, especially with this younger generation, to where the monetary value of a person determines how much they ride for you. It's money is replacing character, and it's replacing heart. And I have to keep the message out there, like, ladies, you don't have to test his pockets to see if his heart is deep enough for you. Be his peace and not just his peace, because I think that's what the transition.
A hand clap, please, somebody. Yes, sir.
I've seen it, and I'm like, this is terrible. Y'all are replacing gifts and trips and items with things that have no value.
Yeah,
they could buy you a purse today and break your heart tomorrow, and you'll be more upset about you losing that purse than to worry about your heart broken because you like another one bites the dust. We're in the wrong mind frame of how to date, how to court, how to be interested in somebody, how to love somebody. If we're going after the Yape version, it is completely wrong. Not one way anywhere in the Bible that it ever said love had anything to do with gifts.
Yes,
not one way. I know love is an action word. It is not what you say, it is what you do. But the problem is replacing more, okay, if you just buy me stuff, I'll love you. No, if the man don't have nothing to buy you, but he treats you right, he speaks word into your heart, he loves you unconditionally without conditions, and all of these other kind of things. Why is it that a Birkin bag can replace your heart? Yeah, the value can go up, but it's going to decrease after a while. Because if Birkin go out of business,
yes,
what now? And if you break up, you're going to have a house full of purses, and shoes and clothes that ain't gonna fit you if you don't maintain your in a couple of years.
Girlish figure.
You stuck when we're talking about some. Well, where's my love? Your love left because you put a value on in gifts and in ideas.
Absolutely.
So that's the only reason why I said that. Be a blessing, not a bill. You don't have to test his pocket to see how deep his heart is for you. You don't have to go say, if you don't spend at least a certain amount of money on me, that means you don't love me. I would love you at the McDonald's drive-thru, Chick-fil-A drive-thru, the new Wendy's 4 for $4. I would love you harder than a Vic and Anthony Steakhouse night could ever be.
Oh, yes.
Free boy.
Ever. And when they shut down and go out of business, I'm still gonna have my love for you. You can't replace love with items.
Ladies, I hope y'all clapping your hands. I told y'all you were in for a treat tonight because they are not. Somebody in the comments said, write me a love letter and attach a DD's gift card to it. DD's discounts gift card to it, and I'll be happy.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
I'm telling you, and that's the thing. And I think a lot of that, of course, it has to do with upbringing. That's one. It has to do with the depiction of love that that both parties have seen growing up, and then the experience of being in that position. Because listen, she said DD's discount, and that reminded me of something. In my 20s, I was dating, and it was like, my job was better than his situation. And so I decided, I'm like, okay, well, I know you need to get some things, and I know this store that just opened up, so you can get a couple of items. Let me tell you something. This black man came back with an arm full of stuff like this. Okay. And when I got done, I looked at him and I said, you know what? The only reason I'm gonna do this because, for one, my pride got in the way, because it was like, because I got it and it ain't no problem. I'll go ahead and I'll buy it. I'll take care of it. But then it was one of those, I never forgot what that situation felt like. I never forgot how I felt after we broke up. And it's like, I don't even want the stuff back, but I'm just mad that I even allowed myself to do that. I really didn't have to prove a point to say that I love you. You know what I'm saying? Because I think my process was, I didn't want to be that girl that's a bill, so I'm gonna show you that I can handle it. But it wasn't reciprocated. And of course, you're not supposed to give a gift with the intent of getting something back. But at the same time, reciprocity reigns true. In a relationship, you want to feel that it's mutual. You want to feel that person has your back should anything happen. So I want to ask you a question, EJ. Now you had already mentioned that about the event that Charlotte planned for you when you guys were dating. But I want to ask you this: now that you all are married, have things changed?
Absolutely not.
Do you all date?
Oh yes, we love dating, and
that's what I'm talking about, man.
And I share this with all of we have a marriage ministry at our church.
Okay.
I always tell our couples, you got to keep dating. You can't just get married and stop. You want to keep dating, dress up, go out, get some babysitters, split the kids up, and you got to still enjoy one another. And so me and my wife, we spend a lot of time. But COVID has been a little different. But prior to that, we was able to do a lot of dating, and even during the pandemic, we just went out, out the city for a couple of days. My birthday. I think it's very critical, very important that couples continue to date. And, that will probably help prevent some entanglements.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you went there because it was my understanding that you began a series at your church on entanglements. And so can you help us define what an entanglement is, sir?
Yeah, well, I just started the series 2 weeks ago. I'm having a lot of fun with this thing. I
bet you are.
I know you are. Fun with this series.
I know you are.
If anybody's friends with me on Facebook, go to the Metropolitan page, my page. Get these last 2 sermons. They are absolutely incredible.
Plug.
But an entanglement is simply a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. And I believe that most of us, to be honest, we've all been entangled at some point of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We all have been caught up in some kind of
Ignorant.
complicated situation. We compromise so much. And one thing that's so interesting, Fran, is I talked about David and Bathsheba on Sunday about that entanglement. And one thing I mentioned was David was anointed. He was a man after God's own heart, and he was a king. David was in position. He's anointed, and yet he got entangled. So I believe that it's not about unsaved people. People in the church can still get entangled. People in the church can still mess up. We can get caught up. You know, it happens to the best of us. It happens to
you can get entangled and not even know you entangled. How about that part?
So, you know, they happen. They definitely happen. So I'm enjoying the series. It's going to be incredible. It's going to help some people to get out of them, help people to avoid them, and help people to stay away, because some of them are flirting with them right now. You know, you kind of flirt with the idea. You know, it looks good, but this series is going to show them it ain't healthy, and that's all it is. It's unhealthy relationship, and it's ungodly. It's uncivilized, because I'm Baptist. That go your three liberated points.
You gave me 3 points. Yes, sir.
3 points.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, they don't work out well. And even with David and Bathsheba, now he ends up marrying her.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, it was really because she was pregnant.
Right.
You know, he didn't marry because he loved her. You know, he married her because she was pregnant.
Excuse me.
That's a whole other lesson.
Oh, no. It's gonna be a lesson right now. Because I know some people that's how their relationship, well, that's how they moved into marriage, and it was because of having a baby. And this is the thing, KB, please chime in on this, because I'm pretty sure you've seen this as well. It starts off with the idea that, you know how they used to say back in the 60s and 70s, I'm gonna make an honest woman of you. You know, you've done some dishonest things, but I'm gonna make an honest woman of you. You know, that's the thought process. But when it's all said and done, you haven't really had an opportunity. You got to know her in the biblical sense, but you really didn't get to know her mindset. And KB, you deal with that a lot. You know, about being a piece, and you know what I'm saying. You got assets, but what's your mind? That's what it was. You got assets, but what's your mindset?
Yeah.
I thought you were to say something else.
Y'all dig in on that.
The mindset is the most important asset. I don't care what nobody says. Your mindset is your most important asset.
Yeah.
I don't care what your physical features are. You could be fine as a brick house, like back in the day, like they used to say.
Yes.
Or you can be you can have all the WAP you want in the world. Here's the problem.
Jesus.
Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I say, and I challenge people with this too, especially when I'm speaking to couples and things like that. I challenge this: if you could no longer see your significant other ever again, as beautiful as they are, would you still love them?
That part.
And if the reason is because either you have fallen in love with the physical nature of them, or you fell in love with the spiritual or the character nature of them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go blind tomorrow, if Pastor EJ go blind tomorrow, he could never see his bride again. Would he still love her with the same intensity he has as right this second? And the answer should be yes.
Yes.
The problem is the answer would be no in today's terms. Here's the only thing I got with entanglement. I get it. I understand it's going since the beginning of time, biblical days. Number one entanglement, David. And we can just go down all that. That's like top 5 in the Bible. You can just go down and listen and call him. But David's number 1, even though it's supposed to end up right in the honest woman way. People have to die for your entanglement. It ain't worth it. But here's what I'm going to say about this. Tangle. Just taking the middle of the root word, tangle. It means it is a twisted, confused mass. That's what the definition of twisted, confused mass. And I'm going to substitute the word mass for mess. There's nothing good that comes out of anything that's been tangled.
Nothing good.
That's God gonna do. If you did it, it's gonna be terrible. If God does it, then that's him doing his work and working his miracles and doing what he got to do. So twisted together in a confused mess. Don't nothing good come out of that. So if it's not how you start and it's how you finish, think about the beginning. In means to, meant means that's the definition of what happened. That's the reason of what happened. So you can have harassment. So whatever went before meant is exactly what happened. Harassment, embarrassment, entanglement. It took two. Y'all confused each other, and now it's a mess. And then you made it meant to happen that way.
Listen, talk good.
It wasn't meant to be.
It was
never
not
was meant to be. We
exactly.
put our own spin and twist on it. So what you said earlier, Fran, and you're 110% correct, because the substitution that we are literally trying to get to right now is the fleshly desire, spiritual connection, which never works, and then think there's going to be some longevity outside of that in the terms of a healthy whole marriage.
Right.
It's never going to be. That's not the way it was supposed to be in the first place. If you look at the blueprint, if you just want a basic one, look at David. Everything he did was wrong. And who's to say just because you get married, I mean, you're going to stay married?
That part.
Because it's not how you start. It's how you finish. I don't care how much money you make in the world. I don't care how much gifts you buy. I don't care how much entanglements you have. Just because you get married does not constitute that you're going to stay married. Because if you'll kill to get married, you'll kill to be unmarried. But that's another time.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, that's one of the things that really kind of scares me about relationships, especially when you look at how far a person will go. I remember a time where, and it still happens now, if the side piece came up pregnant, the side piece possibly also came up missing. No, I'm serious. I'm being honest. I had a neighbor whose daughter came up missing down south. You know, she was dealing with someone who was in the military. And you know, he had a wife that was in. I guess he was stationed in. Let's just say he was stationed in Georgia, but he was actually from Los Angeles. And so the entanglement ensued in Georgia. And so all of a sudden now here we are with a baby, and she was found in the trunk of her car.
Wow!
But there was no baby inside of her anymore. So now
As an Air Force veteran, I can attest. I've heard the stories and I've seen it. It happens more often than not.
Yes, those are scary things. So those are the things that I would say we have to put things in perspective. Think about what you're considering. Think about how far that person is going to see you on the side, and then contemplate how far will he go to make sure you never come from the side. You know what I'm saying? So there's that part. So now look, let me dig at it this way. And please keep in mind, you guys can call in. It's 424-390-6993. 424-390-6993. If you have a question for KB or EJ or FW, holla at your girl. Let's go. Okay, so now we're already aware that there was an entanglement. The way this word became such a hype and a hashtag was due to the red table talk that took place between Jada and Will. And the reason they sat down and had this conversation was because of a situation that had occurred years ago. And it came to light because August decided to have a conversation with someone and tell them about his relationship that he had with Jada. Watch this. And then turned around and said that he had Will Smith's blessing. Okay. And I'm giving this backdrop so that those that might not really be familiar with it, I just want to make sure nobody in the village is left out. But prior to a couple of years ago, and I'll even go back as far as maybe like 2008, 2009, there was this rumor ensuing all through social media, through TMZ and such, stating that Will Smith and Jada have an open marriage. Okay. So now this is where the pause comes in, because if you have an open marriage, then technically it's not an entanglement. So if she felt that, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but so now if you're having this relationship with August, the idea that they suggested on Red Table Talk was that they were not together at the time. Jada and Will were separated, and that's when August started dealing with Jada. So now, what is your take on it, EJ? Tell me what's your take? Do you think that it was really an entanglement? Do you think Will and Jada have an open relationship?
Well, I definitely heard the same rumors and all that, that they had an open relationship.
Sure.
That's another show. They just, I'll never understand that. but supposedly they had an open relationship. But according to the definition, it's still an entanglement because again, they're confused, right? There's confusion. They all tangled up in mess. It's compromising there. There's definitely a lot of ungodliness there. It's unhealthy. And so it's a different level of entanglement. And interesting, I really didn't even see most of the interview. I just thank God I have a 19-year-old son that was able to fill me in. I'm like, man, I keep hearing this word entanglement. I said, son, what's going on social media? Then I kind of did a little research and kind of looked at it, but I didn't see the extent of the video. But according to what I do know, I mean, having an open relationship and you're married, that's not cool. Now, some people got open relationships that they thought was closed, but that's another night. That's another night.
No, we talking about it tonight, man.
Because I think she might be in a closed relationship, but he might be in an open
That's a good one. That's a great one, Pastor. Oh, man. You have to watch your entanglement series.
Listen, I'm just saying, we're trying to get somebody free tonight. That's all I'm saying. Oh, help us. Okay. All right.
My Lord.
Listen. Okay, so now what are some of the precipitating factors that lead to it? Like how does this just all of a sudden happen? Because it just doesn't just drop out the sky. So what are some of the factors? What are some of the red flags? Help the ladies out real quick.
Is that for me?
And then we got a question. Put T's question up on the screen so the guys can see it.
Some of the factors.
Yeah, KB.
All right. So some of the factors. First of all, it always starts with your conversation. I will go far as to say this, just as a challenge. If there are certain conversations you wouldn't have in front of your wife, your spouse, your significant other, your boo thing, your side piece, or whatever you got going on, that one that you really care the most about, whether it be a form of conversation through text messages or social media or in person, if you wouldn't have it in their presence, you probably shouldn't be having it at all. But that's where it starts. It always starts with a conversation, and it always starts with this word of openness. I don't understand the open marriage concept because it's like if marriage is a unionship between two people, when do we let the back door open and let everybody, whoever want to come out?
Not the back door.
What they want to do. I don't understand that. It's like when I got married in the unionship, it was me and my bride at the altar. How is it me, my bride, and everybody else? And did they all say I do? Because I sure didn't.
We do.
Yeah, we do. And who else? Everybody, we do. And who else back here? Anybody else?
Right.
I don't understand that concept. And it's very unnecessary to have. But that's where it starts. It starts with conversation, then the openness, and then you entertain the idea. The fact that nobody in the relationship or the marriage or whatever in the unionship would ever have common sense to say no. Hey, baby, I was thinking about no, absolutely not. You want to bring in different things to do what? What are we spicing up? What did our flame die already? But I think in that Hollywood world, that's so normal that we probably would never understand it. And this probably happened more behind the scenes before it actually got out in the news.
Right. And and what some really don't understand is that a lot of these marriages are arranged. A lot of them are for publicity. So it takes a different spin, and that's what messes up the average person who's looking at this. This is what messes up the fans, because you're looking and it's like, oh, well, if they're open with it, and because you would be surprised. There are some women who actually believe that all men cheat. So if I get married, I just have to accept the fact that he's going to cheat. I have to accept the fact that there's going to be another woman on the side. I have to accept that he's going to come home late, or guess what? He might not come home that night, and that's the thing. And because there are a lot of women that don't know that they think they're number one, but they're actually number three.
Jesus.
4 and 5.
It ain't no amen. It ain't no hand clap. It ain't even a womp, 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 womp right there. How about it? I'll make my own sound effects. Get off it.
My thing is, if you think you're the only person that, if you think that way about men, then leave us alone. Don't be involved in a relationship with us. If all men cheat, then we can flip it and say all women cheat. Then we're doing it together.
Producer, I'm not buying it today. Go keep going, y'all.
We can't put it together that way. I don't leave us alone.
Yeah.
If that's the case, be by yourself until you figure out, or somehow in your brain and your notion changes to where maybe all men don't necessarily cheat. Now, I could flip that and say all women cheat. So are we still gonna do this thing or not?
Yes, we still gonna do it because we holding them accountable. So talk about it, KB. Women cheat too. Talk, man.
They do, and they're a little bit more. Women are a little bit more cleaner.
Yeah,
they don't leave us a mess as we do. We don't think too logically up here because we're thinking with other things, and women think this first before they think with anything else. And I've known people, especially that I've consulted with and talked to, where women in relationship have stepped outside the marriage and they repaired it and made it whole and still maintain their integrity. Then you got ones that don't make it through. Someone just can't get over that. And my thing goes back to the definition of love. Is it really, really love? That doesn't mean that's an excuse or a reason to cheat. Absolutely. But the agape version of love says love keeps no record of wrong. You can't hold on to what I did in the past and have it over my head. Like, remember in '97 when you went to the Freaknik and we was together and blah, blah, blah. Like, you can't do that. If you love me.
Nick, wait.
I probably took him way too far back. My bad, Pass. I probably took him way too far back.
You went from the 90s going into 2000. Wait a minute. Not straight, Nick.
The millennial side over here.
If you don't know nothing about that,
then that's different. And I'm answering the question right there. She said, "How do you accidentally step out?" It's never an accident. It's always on purpose. You don't accidentally step out. It was a conscious decision. You followed through with your flesh because you weren't drinking with your heart or your mind, and you made it. You made the decision. You don't necessarily have to see it as an accident, but if that's the way you want to categorize it, then that's fine. But everything is always done intentionally.
Absolutely. Okay, so there's a question on screen. I want us to address it if you guys are comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "Is separation still adulterous?"
Yes.
Yep. Until you get that divorce, until you have separated your unionship and you told the Lord, listen, I thought this was the one, it ain't the one, I'm out. And they have made that where anything you do in the separation time. Separate, you could be living apart and everything like that, but you need that legality status that says I'm no longer tied to you.
Absolutely.
At all. In every orifice of the way. And don't be separated and still keep my last name. Give it back.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Excuse me. So, because I remember
back to when you came. Get back to your old name, man. Hope you have my name going around town.
Wait. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna take y'all to a movie scene with Tina Turner sitting in the courtroom, and she said he can have everything, but I want my name because I made my name. So technically, she should have gave the name back too.
Should have gave the name back too, but she was a military guy by that name. I wouldn't have been nothing without that turn on now.
I'm just saying, and this is the thing, because see, it is, and I'm glad because they wanted to hear you all answer it, and because the idea is this, because there are some that are separated, and and they're living in separate places, but they're still dating other people, and they're already starting relationships, and then nobody understands how is it that you just got divorced and now you just getting engaged. That's because the relationship didn't just start; it had already started. Mm-hmm. Not only that, then some people, and I've seen this happen before, they show you divorce papers. Oh, good God, they show you divorce papers, right? And that's supposed to mean that it's actually happening, but the divorce ain't happened yet. So technically it's still adultery. It's still a situation. It's still an entanglement. Now it's 7:25 and I want to come on around the mountain when I come. So I want to know, do you all think, KB and EJ, do you all think that this was just a stunt between August? I keep wanting to call him Augustus, like he's Augustus Caesar for some reason.
Augustus, Georgia.
I'm serious. No, but do you think it was a hoax? And I'll tell you my reason for saying that. Because when all of this happened, he had a song, he had a project coming out. And then when the project came out, after they did the whole after Will and Jada had the conversation, then here comes the song, EJ, that your son was telling you about, Entanglements. And I'm gonna be honest, when I heard the first few words of the song, I was livid because I'm like, that's a punk move right there. You don't do that. If you in a situation, it's not your place to go running your mouth now unless you feel like you got something to benefit from it. And I'll say it again, that's still a punk move. Now, do you all think it's a hoax or was it real?
Well, I think it was definitely real.
Okay.
Based on just their history and things that we know of them, it was probably real. But he definitely was trying to get attention.
Thank you.
He was definitely trying to get his name bigger. I mean, come on. Will and Jada are still, even though their situation is complicated, they're still one of the hottest couples.
Power couples.
They both successful.
Yes.
Jada, I was always a fan. Jada.
Yes.
And so, I mean, for him to get that, he felt like I've conquered something. It makes it so big that I got a hold of Will Smith's wife.
Yes, because he was also much younger. August is much younger than Jada. So she went and tangled up with fresh blood. Got it. All right.
And he's definitely not bigger than Will Smith. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he'll never be. Never
let me move Pastor Johnson out the door for just a second. Let me get Pastor EJ out. Let me bring in EJ. Just Elton.
Come here. Come on.
Right?
Come on. Sit down.
This is off the record, right?
Yes, sir.
Off the record. Now, if you're just gonna get entangled, at least level up, right? I mean, come on.
Can I
get entangled with something less than? People be leaving 10s for ones, and you messing with a mud duck, and you got this beautiful queen, or you got this good man, and you gonna mess around with this dude that's working at McDonald's drive-through part-time, and so if you just don't get entangled, right? At least level up. All right, pass the EJ back.
Thank you.
Pastor, I'm so sorry that August will never be the same, man. I'm glad it ain't happening in July. Glad his name ain't July. Like, tell your August up. He'll never be the same.
And that was the thing. It just kind of made me wonder, now, and what made me think, what made me put out the question that maybe it might have been a hoax, or maybe it was a power move, because since it's gonna come out anyway, since they're talking, since he's looking as if he can't keep his mouth shut, then why don't we get in front of this train? Kind of like how Beyonce did whenever, Becky with the good hair, so it's like we in quarantine. People are not making movies, so it's just a way of keeping ourselves relevant. If you're gonna talk about it, let us tell it. Let us get a piece of the pie. That was the other side to it. So I was kind of vacillating between the two, and I wanted the village to help me, make up my mind with this thing. Help me with it, because I honestly feel like it wasn't a hoax, but I do believe that they really just, if anybody's gonna capitalize off of our tea, it's gonna be us.
True.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I felt about that. But I really don't think that he should have been the mouthpiece for this, and unless that was just something that was agreed behind the scenes. Because I really paid attention to Will when Jada was talking, and a lot of people have said that he's the new Jordan meme, the new crying meme, because his eyes were so puffy. He
was hurt. He was hurt.
So you honestly believe he was hurt?
I think he didn't want. They didn't want that to come out. That was such a long time ago. They thought it would never happen. They'll never get out in public. And the fact that they had to put on a brave face and go out and face it and actually address it, you can tell they did not want to do that. You can just tell that was not something they wanted to do at the time. They addressed it because of what he said. If August had never said anything with the hidden agenda of promoting his single that was still terrible, then we would never known, because remind you, it happened years ago. So ain't no telling how many other entanglements they done have with other people that's been on the DL. Exactly. And the fact that he said something that's like, now I got to go sit here, and now we got to come to the red table. That Jada fault for having the red table in the first place. Put yourself on there. Absolutely. Come on, let's do it.
Well, see, you know what? And that's just it. When it comes, that's one of the ideas behind having an audience and deciding to do something like that, because then here comes the tea makers, here come the ones that want to put you in some hot water and see what you're made of. And that was one of those things. But once again, Will is a good actor, okay? And the whole time, I'm just being honest. The whole time I'm watching, and I'm watching his demeanor. I'm watching. I'm looking at Jada, and Jada seemed extremely uncomfortable. But we gotta keep in mind that these are two of the top actors in Hollywood that are sitting at this table, and they can make it be what they want it to be. Because
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying. So those
He
are
held her accountable. He said no. He was like an entanglement. That's what we're gonna call it. It's like he made her forcefully say what it was, and we don't know how much of that was edited. By the way, too, y'all.
Yes, sir.
It has been edited, so we don't know what they really said. So
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now the final question, and I want to hear from both of you. Do you honestly, can a couple recover from an entanglement?
if they want to, I'll knock mine out the way real fast. But if they want to, it depends on, first of all, what circumstances protruded from it. This is entanglement produce a love child. Did this entanglement, hurt financially? Is there something? What other circumstances came inside of it, or if this is just a one entanglement? But if they want to, yeah, you can recover from anything if you really want to. And it doesn't have to be anybody's business. You keep it between yourself. You make your partnership stronger. I just brings back a memory
to yourself.
Yeah. Keeping things to you always. Best way to keep it out your business, not talk about it. That's one of my favorite quotes. But it reminds me back in the day when we used to have those Jet magazines, and you can see those couples that would be in there right before the Beauty Week. They had all the couples that would be in there, and they'd be married 70, 80 years.
Yeah.
Now, after 70, 80 years together, them old black couples that they highlight, it had to have been something that had to happen. But they made it.
Yes.
But they made it. And that's just a testament and a testimony for itself. If they can make it to 70, 80, with, I'm sure, whether there was some entanglement, some love children on the side and all that kind of stuff, they still stayed together. I mean, you can make it through anything. If they could do it, but now, if the person breathes wrong these days, I'm out. I don't like the way you sneeze. Your past gas stank. You sit down, the air was too strong. I'm out. I don't even want to deal with you.
That stuff. Yeah.
I can't wait.
Fran, don't cut up on your show.
No, I've been trying so hard because I really had to prepare myself because KB had me in tears last week. Okay.
You had me into. We was dying laughing. Oh my goodness, Fran needs to be a stand-up comedian, like for real. She missed the calling.
You putting extras on it, baby.
I'm saying teach and preach, but she needs to be on that microphone, killing the audience. That woman, this woman is hilarious.
You had me in tears, and I was like, I gotta hold myself together. Listen, it's 7:33. I'm 3 minutes out the way. I want to go ahead and wrap it up because I always try to stay true to my village and make sure I only take up a little bit of your time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bid farewell to these amazing men. I am just so elated and so happy.
Hello, this is the producer. This show is going too good to stop right now. So we're going to continue a little longer. I don't normally jump in like that, but I am tonight. So I almost said the wrong word, but this stuff is not over. I'm working on not cursing. But when you said down the air, I was over here dying.
I don't have no bedtime, so that's fine with me. Let's go. We gotta let Pastor gotta respond. Can we survive, these entanglements? What do you think, Pastor?
Yeah, same with you said how it starts. It all depends on what was the factor of it. Did a baby come out of it? Was it her best friend? This could have, was it somebody that they knew? Sometimes those things is too painful to recover from. If they start with prayer, sit down and talk, get some counseling. I don't think you can. It's possible, but I think best recovery is definitely to get counseling, to have a mediator there to try to resolve and give you strategies and solutions of how to recover from it. But it's definitely going to take time. It's going to take more than just him staying at home for two straight nights and 2 weekends in a row that he been home. It's going to take effort. It's going to take energy. The same effort you use for the entanglement. Now you got to use that to try to fix your marriage. So if they want to make it work, they definitely can. Make it work. They have to work at it. They got to be consistent. be diligent in it. If they love each other enough, but sometimes I've seen it. Some people can't recover. Not when you slept with my best friend. Not when this is your second time doing it, right? I let you slide the first time, but now this is round two, and then a lot of times the entanglement could just be the icing on the cake. It could have been a whole lot of
stuff that built up. Oh man,
dude ain't providing. He playing his PlayStation all night. All other stuff is going on, and then the entanglement happens. It's just like, yeah, I'm done. I'm over it now. Ain't no sense of fighting for it. It's just too much. But if if the entanglement was one time, like, okay, blame it on alcohol. He got drunk one night. It happened. But if it's been an ongoing thing for a year or 2, 3 years, then that makes it more difficult. That makes it complicated. Now, from a man's perspective, it's definitely we operate different. So if it happens on the opposite end, like, okay, a woman, she steps out on the marriage, a man, we'll have a rough time with that. Men,
we will
beg our women to, come on, baby, it's all right, I love you, take me back, and it was one time. But man, a man mentally, now we'll
can't handle it. We can't handle it.
You know what? That's something that a lot of women, and I don't mean to cut you off, EJ. That's something that a lot of women, it becomes an issue because it's like, men can dish it, but they can't take it. They can't handle it. It's
see what OJ did.
Listen, everybody, everybody gonna die.
Everybody that crazy would come out, man. We'll kill in a minute, boy. We'll snap it.
That boy interrupted the 1994 NBA Finals, White Broncos.
Listen,
then for a woman to recover, it's hard.
Exactly, and it's and the grudge that a man can hold is vicious.
And Leo breathing until until the end of time.
It's
and don't let me be resurrected. I'm starting all over again. The Lord come back. I ain't forgot.
As you rock, I ain't forgot about what you did.
Going up in the heaven, talking about I see y'all. I'm gonna be back. I know exactly. When you get up here, we're gonna talk.
It ain't over.
I might take a pencil and get on Peter book.
Don't worry about Peter. You look for KB. That's what you gonna see.
You come on in the gate if you want to. Glad you made it.
Yes,
good to see you.
Right. Okay. So let's come on down. Let's come on down the street a little bit. Now you have another post, KB, that caught my attention. Yes, I'm back. Yes, I'm back to it. Gentlemen, she has to keep that same energy too. Ladies, hold your hats and your flat. I'm gonna say it again because I'm gonna say it again. And y'all make sure y'all follow KB. I promise you, it's some stuff on that page that'll slap you sideways and get your life together real fast. Gentlemen, she has to keep that same energy too. So I remember a friend of mine, we did this little video talking about some keep that same energy. Oh, that was T. She's on some, she probably just hollered real loud right now. But yeah, we did this little stupid video about that because sometimes people get a little out of control and they act a certain type of way. So now explain, can you elaborate on that a little bit, or why ladies need to keep that same energy, sir?
All right, talking about chivalry and courting and all that good stuff. All right, so if y'all follow me at @real_KB on all social media, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And I try to put captions underneath to kind of help explain what I'm talking about as well.
Yeah, but I want you to expound on that one some because you didn't give me what I was looking for, and I'm like, no. I know it's more behind this. I know it.
So I say this, gentlemen, fellas, you are worth having just as much as she is worth having. Okay, don't let your value decrease just because you're in the chasing and you're in the courting phase.
Okay,
she has to be able to match that energy if she feels it. Meaning, it's one thing to be like, "Hey, I'm feeling you. I think you're fine. I think you're cute. I want to get to know you." So then we start the dating process. But if not even beginning halfway through, don't even need her to get halfway through that. If you're not feeling that same energy reciprocated, meaning she's not valuing your time, your effort, your energy, your money, your all of those things together, then you are wasting. Mic check 1 2 1 2. You are wasting your time.
Absolutely.
And let it go. It is not worth it, because a woman will always show you how much you're worth by reciprocating the same exact energy back to you, if not then some. If she's into you, yes. If she's not, the answer is no. And now you're just chasing something that don't want to be caught, because what always wants to be caught will be caught. It's as simple as that. Do not put your energy into a woman, and or he, she, if they, whatever you identify as these days, whatever you want to talk, your significant other, your boo thing, your interest, your love language, whatever. Do not put your energy into a person who is not returning it. It is a bad, clearly a bad investment. You are getting a piss poor or terrible return. Don't do it. Right? It has to match, especially when it comes to intentions. If she's open to a relationship and she wants to be in a relationship, she'll let you know she wants to be in a relationship based off the energy, the intentions, the way she takes you.
You know, women speak up.
Yeah.
What they want, you know. And most times, and I hate to say this, ladies, don't get mad at me. Most times, the women are ready before the men are.
Right.
You know, and that's just because. And one thing, and I have some friends that they're very good at compartmentalizing. You know, and that was the reason why I asked in the top of the hour, where's the fine line between charm and just outright flirting, because women mix up those signals and start thinking that the man is more interested just because he said you have on a nice dress. You have on a nice dress. That don't mean he's trying to get under it. And then even if the thought might have gone through his head, you don't know what other situations he has going on. But next thing you know, now she's always stopping by your desk to make sure that you can see what type of dress you know what I'm saying? It just kind of expands and it grows from there. But thank you for sharing that. And let me see what's going on, because we're about to get out of here. I can't keep y'all like this. And producer, I'm just gonna throw something if he jump on the microphone again. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good on both ends. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna try it again and say thank you and give benediction to this thing. With here he come, he leaning in.
We definitely want to have you guys back next week. Got to keep going. It'll be a 3-hour show.
We might bring back a part 2. I got something else coming next week, and plus I gotta be respectful to all of the schedules, because let me tell you something, KB, I know for sure is definitely a busy man, and I know ministry has definitely had Pastor EJ wrapped around its loving finger there at the Metropolitan Baptist Church. But I want to say thank you to both of you for carving out some time in your day to talk with me and to spend some time with the ladies in my village. I need you to know you set the comment section on fire, and they've been going at it back and forth. And if you get a chance to go back and look, you guys definitely cut up tonight. So, and Lady Charlay is in the comment section. Shout out to my sis. Thank you for letting me borrow Pastor EJ tonight. And I want to say to you once again, guys, thank you for sharing.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And to my village, I want to say thank you to you all as well. I was gonna wear black again tonight because it was indeed true on Greenleaf that the good bishop is gone. Oh, good God. The Bishop James Greenleaf, he passed away. And so that was the series finale, forgive me. And so now, but we got a new show that's coming. It's called Delilah. Help us today.
Oh,
I
gotta go watch Greenleaf. I ain't seen not a second of it, so now I gotta go watch Greenleaf.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
looking forward to him dying, whoever he is. I got to see the end of it now.
I'm looking forward to him dying. Listen, I will
Fran, now let the people know that it's only a show, because I don't want no thirsty preachers trying to put their resume in, thinking
Hey,
they about to get Calvary. It's telling no, it's just a show, y'all. It's just the bishop gonna die. Let's go.
The bishop done died. They about to show up. You know how they creep in when they find out you're sick.
Mm-hmm.
I
I just want to spend some time with you this Sunday.
Don't get. Let me come. Let me just help out a little bit. I want to make sure that the congregation is doing all right. Man, if you don't get out of here, look, I'll tell you the truth, and I'm gonna get out of here on this one. When my father got ill, I put word out to one of the. Now this, here I go. I'm gonna say it like it is. I put word out to one that I knew would run back and tell it. Go back and tell them. Fran said, "Don't come around here. Don't do it. I will. Don't do it. I don't play that game. We got this over here. Okay, all right." It's called the first family for a reason. Amen. All right. I'll let you today. I'm just trying to help somebody keep their life,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm ordained. I can marry and bury. Oh, bless his name.
Hey.
Slow singing and flower bringing. It wasn't going to be my daddy. Good God from Zion. Yes,
if you go to jail, we're going to bail you out. Don't worry. We got you.
Yeah, we got you.
Bill money under my bed. Don't you even worry about it. Fran always got friend. Yes, indeed. But okay, you guys have been amazing. I don't want to get in trouble because I try to stay sweet as tea on my show. I really do. I try to put my best foot forward and not put my foot in my mouth. How about that? All right. But thank you. KB, we're going to follow up so I can really get these laughs out the way I want to. I've controlled it as long as I think I possibly can. We went into overtime and I almost lost my mind. All right. So thank you so much. EJ, kiss Evan for me. That's my boo. And tell Elijah I said, what's up? And
we'll do.
And high five.
Hey, I need you to connect me with KB. I like this dude. This is a good dude right here.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I just mind my business. That's all. Just mind my business. That's all I do.
Make sure you connect me with this brother.
Drink my water and mind my business. That's all I do.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all this, and then we really out of here. How about this? You guys were probably in the same room at the same time. EJ, he was at the House of Reds on closing night. Remember when PG proposed?
Yeah.
He was on the front row. You've been in the same building. It just hit me right now. So now I will make it happen. Not a problem at all.
I like that brother. He all right with me.
I appreciate you, Pastor, man. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he's solid through and through. All right, Village, it's been great. Thank you so much for riding with me all the way into overtime. And I promise you, I'm going to see you next week. Next week, I got 2 more good brothers in the room with me. We're going to be talking about, let me back that up. I'm going to have 3 good brothers in the room with me next week. That would be in the person of Markel Coleman. That would be Gio Joseph, as well as Pastor Rashad Hall. And we're going to be talking about co-parenting and what that dynamic looks like. Can it actually be done? Or is anyone doing it in a successful way? So I need my village back in the building. If you thought tonight was something, wait till we get to talking about co-parenting, when co-parenting turns into I'm watching what you doing and who you doing it with. Don't talk about it. All right, Village, I'm out of here. Love you all so much. I'm gonna see you next week. I holla.